This is the 313th Taiku in the Babylonian Talmud, which is found in Tractate Niddah, page 34b. And the days are counting down until the end, only a few days left. This Taiku project started on the 19th day of June, although it was first published on the 20th day of June, which 20th was a Friday, and the 19th was a Thursday. And the 19th of June was also the 23rd day of Sivan in the year of 5785, and it was June 19th of 2025. And I've known about this work for a few years, probably since the start of this cycle, when I was watching the Daf Yomi with Eli Stefanski, America's Daf Yomi, and he mentioned this book when we came to the first Taiku in Shas, which is on Daf in Tractate Brachot, Daf 8a at the bottom of the page, about 2 lines from the bottom, that Rav Papa asks the first Taiku, and he mentioned this book. This is probably the first Taiku in Rabbi Pessin's Taiku book. And the moment he said that, a light went off my head, or whatever, however you want to say it. I just got really interested. Wait, someone wrote a book called Taiku? And he compiled all the Taikus. He went through all of Shas and compiled every unresolved, unanswered question. And I decided, and I've wanted to do this for a long time. I would say since 2021, maybe. I started a little bit of it. I started doing it in some form, writing them down in 2023 when we were in Gittin, the summer. That time I was starting to do it a little bit around the 107th, 106th Taiku, around there. But then that kind of petered out. And then last year, it was in June. It was during this. During the first phase, or first part of the Iran-Israel war. It was called Operation Rising Lion, and it was in June. It was mid-June of 2025, and it just came to me. Now is the time to do this, and I decided that this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go off Rabbi Pessin's Taiku book, which is published online, and I'm just going to go one Taiku per day until it's done. And there are 317 Taikus, and that was 313 days ago. Here we are, about just 4 or 5 days away, and I couldn't have imagined that I would take it this far, and it's almost done. So it's really exciting. As I've mentioned in days past, it feels like kind of like graduating high school. It's kind of like we were, on a journey for a while, and now it's almost time to close up shop on this one. So anyway. I will say before I start this, as in the Talmud in general, it's good to understand, because there's a lot of controversy today about the Talmud, and some of the topics are a little bit offensive, I would say, and I can see why. I have to say, I can see why. And I need to also say that I don't agree with everything. I don't think everyone has to agree with it. It was a different time, a different era. The world was a different place back then. And I don't think there's anyone today that would say that you need to agree with everything the Talmud says. And that's one side of it. Another side of it is there's also just topics that are really kind of, I guess for lack of a better word, cringy. They're like, they're uncomfortable topics. This tractate in particular, the last tractate, at least in Daf Yomi, but maybe there's other tractates, but in the Mishnah, but in terms of in the Gemara, Niddah is the last tractate, and Niddah deals with a woman and a woman's monthly cycle. So, all right off the bat, it's something that's really kind of for certain, not for everybody. It's for certain audiences. But this Taiku in particular, there's stuff that's like, it could be offensive on the one hand from the Jew and Gentile aspect. There's a lot of that Jew and Gentile stuff that cause issues. and then there's just stuff that seems tacky in general. So anyway, that being said, I will start the Taiku. This is the 313th Taiku, and again it appears in Niddah 34b, and it's with the words Amar Mar. Amar Mar, Shikha Zer Yisrael, to me b'chol mokim, afilu megoyam. The master said in the Braita, the semen of a Jew is impure wherever it is found. So it's like a backhanded compliment, but you could say that a Jew is impure, but a non-Jew is pure. The semen, that is. So if you want to complain against Jews, but there's reasons behind this. But anyway, they want to say the semen of a Jew is impure wherever it is found, even if it is in the womb of a Gentile woman. The Gemara suggests, let one resolve from this Braita a dilemma that Rav Papa raises. Rav Papa raises a dilemma: what is the halacha with regard to the semen of a Jew in the womb of a Gentile woman? So I guess they would say where this is coming from is that a Gentile, in terms of this type of subject, it's the semen of a non-Jew is pure, they would say. So read that how you want, however you want to interpret that. So they would say once it enters a Gentile woman, it becomes part of her, so it should become pure. Okay? So let one conclude from the Braita that the semen is impure. Because the Braita says it's even if it's in the womb of a Gentile woman, okay, then it will be impure. The Gemara rejects the suggestion. Rav Papa does not raise his dilemma with regard to the semen of a Jew that is in the womb of a Gentile woman within 3 days of their intercourse. Such semen is impure. Rather, when Rav Papa raises his dilemma, it is with regard to semen in the womb of a non-Jewish woman more than 3 days after their intercourse. Okay, what happens? Semen that's in a Gentile woman's womb more than 3 days after their intercourse. What's the halacha? Is it pure or is it impure? Yisrael idagi b'mitzvahis chavit gufayu masriach goyim deloy idagi b'mitzvahis lechol gufayu v'lo masriach oy dilma kim da'ach lishkotzim v'ramasim chavit gufayu masriach teiku. Okay, here's where that disclaimer has to be restated, that this can be offensive to some, and it doesn't reflect my own opinion. I'm reading it because it says it here. My project was to read all of the Taikus, so I got to read all of them, as cringy as they might be. And this is clearly anachronistic and not for today, and I don't want anyone to be offended by it, but this is what it says in the Talmud, and I'm not necessarily making a poor reflection on these Talmudic rabbis either. They, after all, were operating in a certain context, a certain historical context, psychological, scientific, all those things. It was all in a certain context, and once you see the picture there, you'll take it for what it is. As a human race, we are constantly developing, evolving. We are refining our ways and learning more. And with that, I will start this. They want us to describe the sides of the dilemma. What's the question here? So they want to say that if the Jewish women are concerned, they say, do we say that Jewish women are concerned? So the question that Rav Papa was asking is that if semen of a Jew is in the womb of a non-Jew after 3 days, is it pure or impure? So if it's just Jewish, it's impure. If it's within 3 days, it's impure. But what about after 3 days? So here are the sides of the dilemma. Do we say that Jewish women are concerned about the proper fulfillment of the mitzvot and their bodies are hot? Already they're making a generalization. Which Jewish women are we talking about? All Jewish women? No, they're as today as I'm sure it was back then. not all Jewish women are concerned about the proper fulfillment of mitzvot. They're saying Jewish women are concerned about which Jewish women? You know? Jewish women who don't even know they're Jewish and just don't even know anything about Torah, they're concerned with mitzvot? They're not, obviously. And there were plenty of them back then. Or Jewish women who had left the fold or whatever. No, not. It's a generalization, first of all. But anyway, do we say that Jewish women are concerned about the fulfillment of mitzvot? Okay, let's just say that was the case. That would make their body hot. And the semen in their wombs becomes disintegrated. And it burns it up, or it becomes foul. It becomes absorbed. Within 3 days, it's already nothing anymore. It's already absorbed. It's already processed, or whatever. I think that's what they're trying to say. It's whereas Gentile women are not concerned about mitzvot, therefore the bodies are not hot, and then the semen doesn't process as fast. Which Gentile women are we talking about? I mean, everyone's body is different. I mean, they're just kind of speculating. I mean, how can you say it's a big generalization like that? I mean, but they're saying it. They're saying it, not me. Okay. So anyway, the bodies are not. So he said not. They're trying to claim here that the Gentile women, their bodies are not hot. So the semen in their wombs it kind of stays there for longer. It doesn't get absorbed, doesn't process as fast, doesn't become foul within 3 days, or perhaps. And here's another generalization: since Gentiles eat repugnant creatures and creeping animals, again, which Gentiles? I would say that's true. Maybe today, I would say very few Gentiles women today. Especially of the new generation. I mean, even in the past 100 years, no one's eating repugnant creatures and creeping animals. No. Maybe in some places in Asia, they have a lot of weird stuff that they eat. Okay. But which Gentiles and where, who, what, where, when? I mean, it doesn't say here. It just says Gentiles eat repugnant creatures and creeping animals. That would make their body, for some reason, that would make their body hot as well. And then, in that case, they would process the semen much quicker. And so, since no resolution is found, the Gemara concludes, Taiku. This dilemma shall stand unresolved. Until when? Get a load of this one. Until the coming of the Messiah. Messiah, the son of David. And the Messiah, son of Joseph, nonetheless. And I wonder who's going to ask the Messiah this question. Messiah, I got a question. But the tradition is that Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, is the one who answers the questions. So maybe, no, I was going to think that, so maybe some Elijah answers and some the Mashiach answers. I don't know. But I always was wondering, if we're waiting for Mashiach to come, it's written that he will rebuke the nations, and will be the ultimate Torah teacher, will teach us secrets of the Torah that we've never known. So why aren't the questions of these Taikus asked to the Mashiach himself? I never really got a good answer to that question. So that's my own personal Taiku.